Today, we are going to be ranking HSR characters and seeing whether they would be anything from a complete red flag, a stay the fuck away from me, or if they'd be pleasant, a joy to be around, just a total green flag, and everything in between. We're going from red all the way to green, orange, yellow, and lime. Lime is kind of a yellow-green, right? Green flag is obvious. They're just all around good, no major flaws that will get in the way of pursuing a relationship with this character. Lime is like, they're mostly fine, but there might be some issues, but chances are it's not gonna pose a major problem. It's stuff that can be sorted out without much fuss. Yellow flag is kind of an in-between. It's like a 50-50. It's like a maybe it'd work out, maybe not. It depends. You'd have to work for it, but it's not impossible. Orange is most likely it's not gonna work. And red flag is just no. Just get away. It's not gonna work. It's never gonna work. We have a good handful of characters to go through. I removed every character that is either a double, so you know, like an alternate version, or a skin. Well, we don't have skins. Alternate version or anything. Or characters that are too young to be on here, or that look too young for my personal tastes to be on here. Okay, I'm also gonna move Iglea because we don't know anything about her yet. Yeah, these might be ordered like kind of alphabetically because V does not come before R, so it's like vaguely alphabetically ordered. Oh, also, disclaimer. All of this is going to be my subjective judgment of whether or not I would consider these characters to be a red, orange, yellow, lime, green flag for me personally. If you agree or disagree, feel free to let me know. Just be respectful about it. Starting with Acheron. Pretty woman whose character I actually do like a lot. However, in a relationship, I feel like there is definitely going to be some trouble. I don't know how well it would work to date an emanator of nihility. I might have to put you in yellow at least. She's also a little emotionally unavailable as far as I recall. So I'm gonna have to put her in yellow at least. I'll put her in orange. It's not a complete no, but it's, I'd be very, wary of her, I suppose. Personality-wise, she's nice. She's a nice lady. Aventurine! Absolutely not! As much as I love him, he is one of my favorite characters in this game. But by God, I don't think I could do that. Too shifty, too dodgy, too emotionally unavailable for me. I'm gonna have to give that a no. Argenti. Argenti is a beautiful, lovely, and very caring and kind man. He is also a theater kid. And I don't know if I can handle that energy on a daily basis. So I might have to put him in yellow. It's a maybe. Argenti would be the type of partner to like try and, you know, be considerate. Like if he can tell that you're a little overwhelmed or he's coming off too strong, he would tone it down. But the question is, how much would he be willing to turn it down before, you know, it kind of becomes like him just trying to hold back too much and whatnot. I don't know if I could handle his energy. Arlen. I don't know too much about Arlen, but I don't really see any problem with her. He can cook, so that's a plus. I think I can put Arlen as a green flag just because I don't know what would be the problem with him. Asta, she's fine mostly. I don't know, something about Asta kind of strikes me a little off regarding her personality. I feel like we might clash every now and then on certain issues, but it's nothing that I think wouldn't be able to, you know, we wouldn't be able to sort out. Asta might be a bit of a workaholic, which might get in the way. I think we'd mostly be fine. Black Swan, I don't know. I'm not a fan of her personality. I feel like she's a little too, I don't know. Also, I don't want to get in the way of whatever these two got going on. I don't want to be third-wheeling these two. So I feel like maybe not as bad as Aventurine, but no thank you, probably. Blade. Now here's the thing. I love Blade. He is very, literally, physically, emotionally unavailable, but I don't think I can fix that. I mean, he's a very calm guy, usually. I feel like it's a hard maybe. Boot Hill! Oh, I want to put you down here. I truly do. But the problem is, he's an alcoholic. and I can't do with alcohol. But also, I feel like Boothill is the kind of partner to, like, I feel like he would try to tone it down for his partner's sake. He's not a red flag. Not a red flag. It would depend on how much he is willing to compromise. Personality-wise, Boothill is a good guy. Boothill is a green flag if you're okay with being a permanent figure with him while he kills IPC members. I mean, I'm fine with that. Fuck the IPC. Then again, he does have a bounty on him. So, just by that, I might have to bump him to orange because him being hunted down by the IPC would not only put him in danger, but also you. And I don't know if I'd be willing to take that risk. And I don't know if he'd be willing to take that risk. I mean, look what happened once already. Remember, kids, don't do drugs. They will cause you health problems. True. Don't do drugs. It's not cool. It's not good. Fuck drugs. Wow, this is already an interesting tier. The lesbians and Boothill. Branya! You know what? No. Red flag. Because number 1, she is married to her work. Number 2, Zayla exists. And I'd just be third wheeling at that point. So, no thank you. You're on a date with Branya, and she starts talking about either work or Zayla, and then you're just sitting there. Ooh, the next one though. Dan Heng might be our second green flag. He's an introvert. He's a little bit of a nerd. He's not, quote, normal, but he's not, like, off the rails. He is responsible to an extent. I feel like Dan Heng as a partner would just be very pleasant. He's a little silly. You can fool around with him, but nothing extreme. Maybe, I mean, we can deal with the trauma. Doctor. You're huge. Veritas Ratio. Yellow. Because Ratio, as a person, is very kind. As articulate as he is, he's also a little too blunt and awkward, and I feel like he's a little too direct at times, a little too harsh. He doesn't intend to be, mostly, but that might get in the way of communication at times. He doesn't mean to be, unnecessarily rude, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Also, I mean, to be fair, this is all going based on the assumption that we are in a relationship, that he does tolerate me. In which case, I think the communication part, it would be the main issue. Also, Ratio has like a lot of, like, he's a very routine kind of guy, which I am not. But also, if you can handle Aventurine, I feel like this man can handle anything. But also, do I want to get in the way of their situationship? I think yellow is a good spot for it. I feel like it's right on the line of how much consideration he's willing to take. Fei Xiao. She's a good lady. She is also a war general. Simply due to her work and her duties, I'm gonna have to put her at least at yellow. She's also an early riser, isn't she? Oh. I might leave her in yellow. It's a maybe. The way she sent that table flying puts her in yellow, because if she sends me flying, I don't know how to feel honored or horrified or dead, honestly. She could throw you, which to some people might add to the appeal. Yeah, I don't know. Yellow flag. Firefly. I mean, she's sweet. You get her, you also get Sam. Maybe also yellow, because she is also a little secretive, although she did have her circumstances, I suppose, but she also has the bounty problem. That is true. God, it hurts having Boothill up here. Fuck it. I'm putting him down in yellow. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't put him any lower than yellow. Of course I'm biased. Have you seen this man? He's the first character I'm gonna be E6ing. Of course I'm biased. Fu Xuan. Isn't Fu Xuan also low-key a workaholic? In which case, it's an immediate yellow at best. Yeah, she's a workaholic, but not by choice. But I'm gonna put her in... I mean, she's not my type, but that doesn't mean that she would be like any lower on here. This is just like purely supposing I were in a relationship with these characters, whether there would be any issues. So I might just put her in yellow too. That is true. If she can put up with Qingque, she can put up with anyone. Fugue. Not gonna lie. Ting Yun, I would have put a bit higher. Fugue, I think, is fine, mostly. I think I can put her in lime. Gallagher. Assuming he's alive, I think Gallagher, honestly, he's fine. He has a pet. You know, it's kind of an Arlen situation. You get a big pet with him. I mean, Sleepy is very cute. Assuming Gallagher is a real person, I think I can put him in green flag. Gallagher red flag, because he's only E5. Where's your last Eidolon, huh? With Mikhail! Okay, but I think Gallagher is fine. Assuming that he is alive and well and real would be fine. Mr. Landau. Jip Hard. This man is just the embodiment of a golden retriever. However, like Bronya, married to his work. He is also very stubborn, so you could barely ever convince him to like take a break or a vacation. So that definitely gets in the way, unfortunately. He is also very likely to get killed. Metal box shield, gonna have to put him at orange. Yeah, Japard would be a complete green flag if only it wasn't for his job, his work. It's let's go lesbians and Japard. Gwenithan. I mean, as a person, she's cool, but she is also a streamer. She's not just like a streamer or a content creator, she is an influencer. Like, she leans fully into it. And I don't know if that might be a little too much for me. I think it would depend. Gwenithan would be lime if she wasn't a famous streamer who canonically has insanely thirsty fans and stalkers. Okay, yeah. See, that's something to take into consideration because with some of these characters, it's not just them you have to think about, but also their circumstances. I don't want to be with someone and have to fear for my life or, you know, my personal safety and privacy. Now, I know you're gonna say, oh, but Boodle is an exception. He's an exception. Hanya. She's nice? I don't know too much about Hanya. Isn't she also very busy with work, though? God, so many of these characters are just workaholics, whether by choice or not. Yeah, I'm gonna put her next to Fu Xuan because I think their situations are similar. Get the fuck out. Listen, I'm not a fan of Herta as a character. I sure as hell would not date her. Whether it's Herta or the Herta, I don't care what form she comes in, I don't want her. That is a mental disorder that I would not be willing to deal with. Anyway, moving on. Okay, hold on a moment there. I've got to be careful because I think this is my bias speaking. My bias says I might want to move Aventurine to orange, but I need to keep in mind that this man gambles his life away on a regular basis. And this man is a part of the IPC, and this man probably has so many enemies that will be out for me. I'm gonna have to keep you in red. I love you, but I am sorry. Himiko! Gotta say, the coffee addiction knocks it down a little. And I don't think she would be willing to compromise on that. So I'm gonna have to put her in yellow, because otherwise she's fine. Very motherly, very responsible, mostly. Oh, also she can't cook. She also is god-awful at cooking. Jade... Joucho! I mean, listen, I'm not a masochist, and I think that's all I need to say. I don't like women who are not upfront. I don't like people who are not upfront. I don't like people whose words I just cannot trust. Even if they may mean well, I could not trust that woman, ever. So, hard no. Joucho? Okay, let's read this first. Joucho would be so green flag, but the only problem is he's very self-sacrificial and doesn't value himself at all compared to those he loves, but he will do anything for you at least. That is like the main issue, and the fact that I would have to convince him to not feed me spicy shit. But yeah, he is very self-sacrificial. Like, he is too kind and caring for his own good. He is the HSR Baiju. It's lime. Jing Yuan! Pleasant guy, but on account of being our general, I'm gonna have to bump you down because as lazy as he is also very busy and has a lot of duties. Does Jingyuan himself go out on the front lines a lot anymore these days? He does go out to battle himself. Yeah, that's orange at best. Jingliu, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know too much about Jingliu, but I think at least orange, maybe even red, honestly, maybe even red. Oh yeah, the Mara. The Mara makes her scarlet flag on God because if I accidentally knock that scarf off, I'm cooked. That is true. Yeah, no, red flag. I would fear for my life. Kafka, red flag. Not a fan. Again, very emotionally unavailable to the point she doesn't even know certain emotions. Lingsha. I don't know much about Lingsha, but from what I've seen of her in the Xianzhou quest, She seems like a nice lady. She has a bit of an attitude, which I don't mind. I think she's fine. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would bother me about her. Another busy lady. I guess the question is if she's busy to the extent of Fushuen and Hanya, or like if she knows what a break is and what a vacation is. It feels like she would. I don't know. She seems like busy, but not to the point of like neglecting her own private time. Maybe I'm wrong on that. If I am, let me know. Luocha. I mean, to be fair, do we know much about him? Like, from what we've seen in the main story, he seems like a dodgy but decent guy. So maybe yellow? Okay, wait, he is also a traveling merchant. He does travel a lot, which, for me personally, not my thing. I'm gonna put him in orange just because I don't like traveling and there's too many question marks around him to be like sure of what his deal is right now. I think he's a decent guy, but you know, circumstances. Luca! The boy! I think it's a lime, at least. I think Luca's main problem is his lack of self-preservation. He needs to take better care of himself. But besides that, he's just a good boy. Maybe a little too energetic for me, personally, but I could handle his amount of energy, I think. Okay, Lynx! Lime, she's a good girl. She does go on a lot of expeditions, so she'd be out quite a bit, but I think she's fine. Travels a lot, which might every now and then be a little tiresome, but it's fine. March, speaking of tiresome, I'm sorry. No, at least orange, because way too energetic. Her attitude at times is very annoying, as cute as she might be. Pretty irresponsible. I don't want to be her Danhang. I don't think I could do that. March is kind of like the exhausting little sister type. Moza, he cleans, but he is also very withdrawn. Might put him in orange because he's very withdrawn. Like extremely withdrawn. Like melting into the shadows withdrawn. He's a good guy, just there's a lot going on with him. Natasha! Lime, just because I think she also has a little bit of a workaholic attitude, but I feel like she would be able to handle it better. But then again, she is the only doctor in her clinic, which would make her very busy. So I might have to bump her down to yellow. But personality-wise, she's lovely. If not for her work, there wouldn't be many issues. Hayla, workaholic, yes or no? If no, then lime. If yes, then yellow. She is very, I guess diligent is the word. Yeah, she also does have a little bit of an attitude that I might not always vibe with, so I'm gonna put her in yellow. Chingchua, I'm gonna be generous and say orange because I do not want you to gamble all my life savings away. She is lazy at work, but would that translate into her personal responsibilities? I feel like it might, so I may even have to bump her up here. She does a lot for the stuff she cares about, but her work is her lazy time. I'm gonna put her in orange just because I don't have a too solid grasp on her character. Rappa, I think the Chuny would be way too much for me. She's like March's energy times 5 at least. Fellas, I think we might have us another green flag. Robin! I think we might have another green flag on our hands because I cannot think of anything wrong with her. She's lovely. She's very respectful. She's a little silly. You know, you can get up to some shenanigans with her. She can communicate. I'm gonna put her at the top here. So far, biggest green flag in the game. Okay, next. Stay the fuck away from me. I don't hate her, okay? I don't hate her. But my impression of her has been thoroughly soured by the way the game makes us treat her. Like she hasn't drugged us, manipulated us to do her bidding, and then just dipped after putting our life in danger without any consideration for us. And in the end, we still had to be somewhat nice to her. And I don't even blame her for that. I blame the writing for that. I think if the Ting Yun thing came before her getting wonderful treatment by the Trailblazer, then it would have made slightly more sense, even if it sucks. If the list of events had been the other way around, maybe, because by then we would have had the first impression that, oh, at least she helped Ting Yun, you know, not die. But as things stand, no. Okay, hear me out. Sampo Koski. Another case of it is not him, but his circumstances. Hear me out. If it was just him, I would not mind. This one, I think I could fix this one. I cannot fix any other masked fool, however. I cannot fix Aha's chaotic ass. I would not be scared of him. I would be scared for my life of clients that may be out for blood, the masked fools that may want to mess with him, Sparkle, Aha. If not for that, he would be somewhere here. Sampo is a good guy. I think Sampo's thing is mostly just like he's too far gone to think that it's worth changing. And if not for his environment, I think I could make do with that. I think I could handle that. If not for his fuck-ass Eon, he'd be perfectly fine. The things he said during the last event where he's just tired, I'm gonna scream. Yeah, exactly. Every time we see Sampo, it's kind of like him stressing more and more that he's just done. He's not doing it because he wants to, he's just doing it because he has been doing it for so long. So like, yeah, if it wasn't for his path, I would put him in line at least, because I'm not gonna lie, I could fix him. He's one of the few that I would be willing to fix. Zayla, honestly also red flag because she would only be talking about Bronya. Like, I'll put these two next to each other because I would just be fucking third wheeling and I don't want to do that. So, and also she's a little too rough for me. Serval, once she gets over Cocolia, green. Silver Wolf, orange, just because I feel like living with her would be not fun. She wouldn't do any chores, she'd just be gaming. She wouldn't follow any of her responsibilities. She'd just try to push everything on you. Yeah, no, don't think so. This one, she is the red flag. I don't think I need to explain this one. She's just insane. Okay. Not gonna lie, Lime. There might be some conflict every now and then because he is a very orderly person, no pun intended. It's the OCD, I get it. I would try to get it, but that might spark some conflict. But other than that, no objections from me. Good person, terrible circumstances. You know, he just needs to learn to accept himself a little more, to value himself a little more, and then we're good. Sushang! Not gonna lie, I don't know too much about Sushang. I feel like her energy might be a little much for me, so I'm gonna put her in lime. Maybe lime. Sushang is like brown-haired girl Yanqing. Might be a little too much at times, but she's fine. Topaz. Yellow because IPC. You get her, you get Numby, which is a bonus. But she is also very busy. She does work for the IPC. When it comes to her work, she is definitely very, she knows what she's doing. In person, I feel like she wouldn't be like that necessarily. I feel like she would definitely be more sincere. Okay, listen, the IPC thing really knocks her down. The Trailblazers. I want to say lime because they're just very silly. One creature and feature. Featuring a creature. Maybe a little too silly, but I think they're fine. If you tell them to stop, they would stop, I feel like. Or they would at least tone it down. This is Green Flag Central. Put him up there with Robin. She's the female green flag. This is the male green flag. Velt is a kind man. He's a caring man. He is patient. He's a weeb. He's a gamer. He's perfect. He is the closest thing to perfect that you can get. He's up for shenanigans, but within reason. He is very responsible. I cannot find a single flaw with this man for me personally. He is the dictionary definition of good. Okay, Shui. Orange because I don't know how fun it would be to have a girlfriend that can just die and be reborn and is as a result also probably very, or at least decently self-sacrificial. So I don't know about that one, Chief. Wife. But I'm gonna have to put her at orange because number one, also busy. She doesn't go out to fight anymore, I think, right? But also points at these two, points at these two. As long as she is still mourning her dead could have been wife, I don't think. Yeah, she also will go out to fight if she has to, or if she feels she has to. The rest are just either doubles or characters who look or are too young. So that's that. That is our kind of evenly distributed, well, a little more top heavy. Again, if you agree or disagree with any of what I've said, feel free to let me know. Just be nice and respectful about it. If not, then fuck off.